So last night, Shauna and I were talking about our daughter and things that she had brought up about religion and just how it seems like some people in your religious circle don't necessarily believe in what it is that they're being a part of. And it was an interesting conversation because it got me thinking, and that created another As a Man Thinketh video because I thought. But anyway, what I was thinking about is, what is the difference between religion and faith? Because I think that there's a big line between the two of them. And I think it's a line that a lot of people don't seem to completely understand. And because they don't understand it, a lot of things happen. If you talk religion between two different people, you often find disagreement. Even within your religious circles, what would happen is you find that people tend to start to judge one another for not having the same level of faith within that religion. To answer this question, I think I'm going to first talk about what religion is. Religion is a social circle, so to speak. It has a set of beliefs and lifestyles that help a group of people develop a better understanding of their relationship with God. Not every religion is for everyone. And I say that because a religion may have a certain path or a certain set of criteria that are designed to engage and develop the thought to think higher. But if somebody does not fit in with that religious belief or that religious lifestyle, it is going to, in turn, actually taint their faith. And that's one of the problems that I see with religion. But that's all that religion is. No religion is 100% correct, and no religion is 100% wrong. And not every religion has the right morals. However, they all have the same basis when it comes to faith. And that is why you can have many individuals, and when you have a couple individuals talking just about faith, removing any conversation of religion, what you'll generally find is that two faithful people will not disagree at all when they're talking strictly about faith. So what is faith versus religion? Faith is completely different than religion. Faith is recognizing the omnipotence of a supreme power and the ability of that supreme power to care and provide. The higher your faith, the more you understand that that you are a part of that supreme power, you are cared for, you are provided for, and the more that you recognize that, the more in tune your thought becomes with that, and the more results you'll see. So, based on faith and what faith does and how it can be and how effective it is, the effectiveness of faith being the strength of your own faith, then you can really kind of take that and look at every religion and say, well, anybody who has this understanding of a supreme consciousness that can provide and take care of me, of you, is therefore keep this muddy already. So I think that when you look at faith and you realize that all faith is this elevated thought of your own and in your relationship with that supreme power. Really, you could be a part of just about any religion and have a strong faith. And in this particular instance, when you're talking about children, I think it's interesting in the Bible, Jesus talks about how we should all have the minds of children, because children are very susceptible but they're also very honest in their thought. They haven't had a whole lot of other things to confuse them in life. So they tend to be the most faithful when they are young. And then as we become teenagers and we start to grow into adulthood, we start to be consumed by the world around us. And we lose track of that thought process. We get sidetracked by a whole lot of other things thrown at us. And that right there is kind of the problem, I think, with a lot of teens or young adults, is that they have not completely matured back to understanding what their relationship is with God. So if you ask a lot of them, do you actually have faith in what you believe in? Most of them will probably say, no, I don't. And that's completely normal. And this is why. I think that, children have blind faith. I think that young adults and teenagers begin to question that blind faith. And I think as people get older and they've had more opportunities to have to turn to that faith and rely on it, then that's when they begin to develop what I would consider a true faith, something with a basis that they can turn to and say, hey, I recognize that my prayer, my reflection on these things, and my acknowledgement of God's power is what got me through that situation. But it takes practice and time. Anyway, so it's interesting because, I think that when it comes to faith and religion really has nothing to do with faith. I've met some very religious people who are not faithful at all. I've met some very semi-religious people who are extremely faithful. Faith is something that you have to demonstrate for yourself over time to completely understand. Children, like I said, are generally blindly faithful, but then we all go through that transition period where we need to see it demonstrated and put to action before we truly believe in it. The more people I run into that are further into their adulthood, the more people I run into who are faithful or who would tell you that they refound their faith or returned to their faith. And what they're really saying is, I've now seen it demonstrated, I now understand it, and now I'm trying to grow that understanding. I don't think that we should ever hold religious circles to necessarily guide us on their own when it comes to faith. And I don't think that we should think for a moment that our religious beliefs are faith in and of themselves, because they're not. They're just that. They're just beliefs. They're just social guidelines to help you live your life, to see the demonstration that'll give you faith. And that's important to remember. So when you're having that conversation with somebody who is of a different religious background, you need to recognize that we're all seeking the same understanding when it comes to faith. No matter how we go about it, it's that's all that religion provides for us, is a means for understanding. Anyway, I thought I'd just share my thoughts with that on you. I know that talking about religion is kind of like a sinful thing on social media, but it's an interesting topic, and I think that it's a very misunderstood topic for those reasons. And the more we understand it, the more we understand each other.